How does Python OOP inheritance work? Imagine building a house and then creating different rooms that share common features but also have their own special traits. That's kind of how inheritance works in Python programming. In Python's object-oriented programming, inheritance allows one class, called the child or derived class, to get properties and functions from another class, called the parent or base class. Think of the parent class as a blueprint that defines what features a general object should have. For example, a class named person might have properties like first name and last name, and a method to display the full name. Now, if you create a class called student, it can inherit all these features from person without rewriting them. You just specify the parent class in parentheses when defining the child class. The syntax for creating a child class that inherits from a parent class looks like this: class student, person, pass. The pass statement means you haven't added anything new yet, but the student class already has all the features of person. This setup makes it easy to reuse code and organize related classes. Inheritance also lets the child class add new features or change existing ones. For example, the student class can have its own property like studented or add a method to study. If you want to change how a method works, you can override it by defining a new version with the same name in the child class. When you call that method on a student object, Python uses the new version instead of the parent's. When a child class has its own constructor, called the init method, it often calls the parent's constructor using the super function. This makes sure the parent class's properties are set up properly. For example, if the parent class person has name and ID number, the student class can add grade or major, but still initialize name and ID number by calling super init name ID number. Python also supports multiple inheritance, which means a class can inherit from more than one parent class. This helps combine features from different classes into one. For example, a class called hybrid car might inherit from both electric vehicle and gas vehicle classes, gaining features from both. In practical use, inheritance helps keep your code clean and organized. Instead of rewriting similar code, you create a base class with common features and then extend it with specific classes. For example, a vehicle class might have properties like wheels and methods like move. Then, car and motorcycle classes can inherit from vehicle and add their own features like trunk space or handlebar type. To sum up, Python's object-oriented programming inheritance works by defining a parent class with shared properties and methods, then creating child classes that automatically get those features. You can also add new features or change existing ones by overriding methods. This approach makes your code easier to manage and reuse, especially when building complex programs with many related objects.